it's crazy that how much games have been over monetized and stuff. It's kind of the reason why I don't really play gotcha games a whole lot. I think the one I invested a little bit of time into, which was ZZZ, but even then, I don't like the way how they do the monetization. And if you're someone that watches the live streams, you know that how much I love glazing Warframe. And so with that, these are the top 10 games turning to microtransaction hell. They're not even microtransactions. These are macro transactions. But anyway, let's go.
Live service games, microtransactions, free to play. It's stuff we've complained about often on this channel, we'll admit, but today we're talking about some games that maybe started off reasonable but have kind of devolved into a microtransaction hellscape. Some of these games are games that you might actually be a fan of, but today we just kind of want to air our grievances with them. So we got 10 examples. Let's get started off with number 10. As longtime Bungie fans, it's been frustrating to watch their slow metamorphosis from one of the best and most respected game developers to whatever they got going on with this now. Destiny 2.
Honestly, man, when Marathon comes out, I'm gonna play that. I really want to see what people are talking about.
Is in many ways a microcosm of that change. Sure, there were microtransaction controversies right from the start, completely, but it's gotten so much worse in the past few years. It's almost unrecognizable as the same game for some people. I mean, in many ways, it literally isn't, because a lot of that stuff that originally made Destiny 2 what it was, you know, like the entire Red War storyline, all that is gone. It's been removed from the game entirely, and now a lot of that content that was originally part of the game, including stuff like the first 3 expansions, stuff that people actually, you know, paid for, has been removed and is slowly being drip-fed back to players to kind of purchase all over again, only this time they're charging for every little thing and making it more expensive. Compared to the whole Bright and
This is actually true. Yeah, they literally sunsetted the base, the actual campaign that the game was built on. You know what's even crazier about that? They deleted the campaign. And when I mean deleted, they cannot recover the original files of the campaign. That's what I mean deleted. They actually formatted the Red War campaign. So they don't even know how they can even get it back. I don't even know if they can even like duplicate the game, if they could get like a copy of of Destiny 2 and try to get that version of it and then try to duplicate files from that or anything. Like, I don't know. Yeah, they completely got rid of it. I thought that was insane. Yeah, this is a true story. Crazy. But anyway,
Ingram's controversy back when the game first came out, and you know, the original version of the Eververse store. What we're getting now is much worse. On top of the paid expansion,
bro, you thought the Eververse was bad when it first came out? Ooh, it got way worse.
Packs, which are required to keep playing the game, and seasons, which Bungie, of course, raised the price on without warning and without making any significant changes to the amount of content you're getting with each one. Then there's also some absurdly overpriced cosmetics now that don't even bother trying to fit in with like the theme or the lore of the game. At least the old paid armors and stuff kind of actually tried to fit in the world of Destiny 2. Now they're just falling into the same desperate pit as every other microtransaction heavy game and just going all in on cross promotions with stuff like Ghostbusters and Star Wars. One of the upcoming expansion packs is going to be just straight up Star Wars themed. Any coherent vision for the game has been sacrificed to blatant...
They look alright, but yeah.
And desperate attempts at just marketing stuff. They're filling the game with stuff that I think a lot of players don't want.
All right, I forgot. Yeah, that one game's never gonna come out because it's in hiatus. I just remembered. Damn.
And especially don't want to pay for. It's tragic because the game is kind of on the upswing technically, but it's not bad. But these increasingly transparent attempts to make every last cent, every last dime from the player base is just making it harder and harder to like Destiny 2. Next at number 9, back when
it's literally on its last legs and they're trying to do everything to monetize it.
It was released, Infinity Nikki got a lot of positive reactions and goodwill from gamers, the gaming world, the gaming press, whatever. The monetization was far from the best in the game. I mean, this is still a free-to-play game from Asian territories, like action-adventure thing. Exploitative is the baseline here, but as far as these games go, there wasn't anything overly egregious right at the start. Things seemed to be trucking along smoothly, at least for a little while, and then the disastrous 1.5 patch dropped, and it seems like that's when everybody turned on the game. It's rare to see sentiment around a game swing this hard because of one simple patch, but it's one of the...
Yes, I did hear about this. I think the reason why I heard about it, I believe it was Tectone. I believe he talked about this. Yeah, they came out with like a mid-season update or something like that that completely changed the entire game in terms of like getting outfits or some other things. I forgot what it was. It was like the worst things that they could have done.
Examples where they did it, they screwed up here. There are problems from top to bottom. Like the original opening area was completely removed and replaced with this extremely basic, almost condescendingly simple starting area. The story was changed in a way that most fans did not like. And then, yes, of course, the
Oh,
monetization got a whole
yeah,
lot worse.
that's what
A
it
lot of
is.
this is going to sound like total gibberish if you're not deeply ingrained in gacha games, but one of the core problems fans had with the update was that they added in two new 5-star banners, which instead of being the usual 10 parts or less, they
Uh-huh.
both had 11 parts. So the bigger the outfits that you
Ooh.
want to unlock, the more gacha pulls you have to make to be able to complete them. And while the game does have the
Oh.
usual pity system seen in other games like this type, like, Genshin Impact, completing a
Yes, but here's the thing: the petty system in gotcha games like these are like, well, look, you spend over $80 here. We'll give you one petty. Yeah, no, no thanks, no thanks. I'm good. I'm good.
single outfit was already expensive, but that bump in the amount of pieces needed to complete the outfit made the final cost even worse. Basically, it takes like 20 pulls to just get a single 5-star costume piece. That's when the pity mechanic kicks in and the game just gives you a freebie. But the chances of getting these things are so low normally that it's basically required. It's extremely unlikely that you'll get any 5-star pieces from just a regular roll. So if you want to get just one of these costumes, it was going to take up to 220 rolls. And if you want both costumes, then it's
Ooh.
440 rolls. This is a game all about playing dress up.
How much money is that? That sounds like that's more than like five. Here's the thing: one roll is usually like $1 or something. So that sounds like it's more than $500. Ain't no way it's that much.
People like this. And it's filled with players who are not just willing but happy to engage in this type of stuff for costume parts, but even they think this whole thing is going too far. Throw in a lot of worthless microtransactions like decorations that you can't
Dude, you know what's bad when the whales themselves are like, dude, this is too much. Are you serious?
really do anything with because there's no housing system, along with the extremely messy, like, come on, 90% discounts flashing listed everywhere, where they mark something up for like $1,000 and say it's 99% discount, like they're giving you a huge saving.
Oh no, nigga, no. Here's the thing. That's mad illegal in a lot of places. Nah, what is it? I'll be honest with you. That and I think places like I think it's like Canada and the EU, like doing those type of pricings are actually mad illegal because those are you are literally creating a what is a sense of like I don't forget what it's called, like an urgency or something like that. Pretty much like FOMO and stuff. For players to to spend money on this limited time sale, which realistically um these aren't like actual sales for whatever the fuck, because these are literally digital goods that you're these are digital items that you're buying. So why does it need like this those type of massive sales? Like, it makes zero sense. No, those are bullshit numbers. Those are all inflated. Those are made to what is it, for the people who hate what is it who hate the idea of FOMO and stuff, or fear of missing out. So yeah, that's mainly what it's predding on. But yeah, man, no, fuck that.
Even though it's just on like the most worthless junk, just makes the game look kind of trashy with how hard they're pushing players to spend money. It seems like a game that's tanked its reputation quite a bit simply because the developers got a little too greedy here.
Yep,
Next at number 8, as one of the longest running MMOs out
greed kills games, man. It is what it is.
there, RuneScape has changed significantly since it
Ooh,
originally launched
RuneScape.
way back in January of 2001. I remember playing that at the library and having the time of my life. Now, the world of RuneScape has always kind of dipped its toe into monetization. I mean, the developers have to pay the bills somehow, but originally it was just a $5 subscription. Then came the in-game store, the bumps to subscription prices, the addition of premium skill tools that make it easier to grind, and then the
Okay, the in-game store I can kind of get. The higher subscription prices, I can understand that too. Because I mean, $5 that's actually pretty cheap for how much you can do in the game. That's actually really cheap. And I know this is coming from an old WoW player that used to pay $15 a month for that damn game. But the premium skill tools, yeah, no, that's a big no no. I think that's actually affecting gameplay.
The list goes on and on. Players were getting more and more fed up with the real money shop crap on top of subscriptions, but the thing that really got the player base fuming was the addition of a battle pass on top of all that other stuff. This RuneScape 3
Ooh.
player backlash got Jagex to remove the hero pass, but that didn't stop them from continuously raising subscription prices and offering increasingly expensive and overpowered items in exchange for real money. The situation with the game got so bad that just recently, in 2025, the studio put out a message saying that they were looking into overhauling the entire microtransaction system in the game. It's a bold statement if their intentions are true, but many players remain skeptical. We've all heard this stuff before.
Was this also during the time of because what is it, a viewer of mine, don't remember who exactly, but they've recommended me to watch the was it the what's it called, the I think it was a video called Wokescape. And yeah, it was pretty bad, man, like the things that they were implementing and things like that. It looks like they were much more invested into putting like LGBT related things than actual content. And supposedly, for what it looked like as well, that they actually put in a they did this grand reveal sort of thing about like some boss or something like that, that was having a long build up on the game's lifespan for like, I don't know, I think it was like 15 years or so. And it all ended like in a cutscene. It wasn't even a cutscene, it was like a black screen, and that was it. And yeah. So I thought that shit was pretty crazy, to be honest. But I don't know. This was a little bit ago, and I don't watch anything RuScape related. So, but I thought it was a very interesting video to watch of the what the devs are doing, and some of the I think some of the moderators and things like that. But yeah.
From Jagex, they put out these types of feel good, we hear you messages, and then not a lot comes from it, you know? Maybe if they are serious about fixing the microtransaction situation, then RuneScape could actually get a lot better. But right now, until then, it's just kind of in this microtransaction limbo. Next,
Yeah.
over number 7, Overwatch 2. You know something has gone wrong when a game's player base wants to go back to loot boxes.
Oh
Overwatch
yeah.
1 had loot boxes, you know, a thing that we all hated and complained about, but it's so much better than the
No, 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 no. Here's the thing. I didn't mind loot boxes. I hated the fact that games made it a mandatory for a bunch of other games to have it on there, because yes, one game had it and it did well, but the difference is that they started adding almost everything into the loot boxes, to the point where where actual star cards, skill points, and a bunch of other stuff were being put into the loot boxes. That's when it became a problem. Overwatch is if you really think about it, the way how Overwatch did it, it was like, oh, you got a skin or you didn't get a skin. You got this or you got that. And then if you got the coins, you could just buy the skin outright and all that stuff. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. But the difference was that EA was like, hey man, how can we gouge the hell what is what is out of our fan base's wallets? And that's the reason why Battlefront 2, the infamous what was the infamous quote? What is a pride and accomplishment? And then I think also I think one or two of the Need for Speed games. I think it was one of the Need for Speed games actually had that too. I forgot which one was it. But yeah, it had all that. And bro, and I don't doubt there were a bunch of other games that had it too. I just can't, I don't remember them. But yeah, Overwatch, yes, even though it did start it, but everyone else, I will say everyone else were the ones who made it more worse. It's not Overwatch's fault for starting something, for to be like, oh, here's this thing, it's cool, fun, cool, you unlock outfits and things like that. Sure, there have been other ways you could do by playing the game or to complete challenges and all that stuff. Fair enough, right? I get that. But what's funny is that the same company, if you really think about it, the same company, right? Blizzard, same company. It's like, how can we make this worse for everybody? Oh man.
the current model. At least back then, you could possibly get a skin or something that you actually wanted. Now, most of the cosmetics are real money only.
I should play this again. Maybe I'll do that.
Long gone are the days of the $10 cosmetic, which was absurd even back then, yes, but now we're getting completely worthless digital goods and skins that'll be gone forever when the game inevitably shows.
Maybe guess Widowmaker got another skin.
shuts down and the servers go offline that will cost you $40 or more. And of
Yep.
course, Overwatch 2 is going the Destiny route of selling itself basically to the highest bidder with all these goofy crossover costumes that just feel really out of place in the world of Overwatch, like G.I. Joe and Cowboy Bebop. Look, I love both of those things, but I go to Overwatch and those characters for like their thing. I get some people dig it, but I don't know. It can kind of feel cheap. But it's gotten so bad that Blizzard thinks they're doing the player base a favor when they're robbing them blind. Like with a recent timed winter event where you could get some legendary costumes for $5. But if you wanted everything, then it was going to cost closer to 35. There was literally
Oh
not enough
yeah.
time in the event to get enough in-game currency to earn this stuff just by playing the game. And of course, they're not going to just let you buy anything in the bundle individually, so it's all or nothing. Pay up, dude. The Overwatch 1 price model wasn't great, but people
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it sure is a lot more better than it was. And you guys want to know something crazier too is that Overwatch 2, when it first came out, you were able to earn like the coins and all that stuff. You're able to get them by like I don't know, I don't think it was daily, but I think there were weekly challenges. You're able to get like coins, even though they were like a little bit, right? A little bit of currency here and there. It's like save the world, like you complete a daily in Fortnite, save the world, and you got a little bit of V bucks. You got a little bit here, you got a little bit there, and then save enough. You could buy yourself a what is it? You could buy yourself a skin. It was the same thing like this, the way how Overwatch 2 did it, but these were weekly challenges, which is fine. But the difference is that now they're like, well, now that we put in now that we're introducing that, I think this is before they had the battle pass, right? Or something, or I don't know. Um now that they have the battle pass in the game now, what is it? Now that the battle pass, now they put in the premium currency into the battle pass that you can actually earn throughout the levels of the battle pass. They're like, oh, since we did that, you what is it? We decided to remove earning coins through the weekly challenges, and to me, I was like, why? You you could have still made it where that for the people who still complete the weekly challenges could still get the things for they could still get the one things for the weekly challenges. They can still get the battle coins or the Overwatch coins or whatever they call them, or the premium currency. They could still get that. They could still get it while you going through the battle pass and also doing the weekly challenges. Why in the hell would you do this for? So yeah, I mean, even though they say they do things for the better, that was another part where I'm like, no, you're just being greedy as fuck and making it where that that you're really limiting what people can, how much Overwatch coins that people can really earn.
paid for a game and then could at least theoretically earn stuff from the loot box system. But now that Overwatch 2 has replaced the original game and that whole mess, all that type of stuff, that format is gone now. And even if you drop $60 on the game when it originally came out, you still have to pay up. Next at number 6, on June 10th, Rainbow Six Siege went
Mm-hmm.
sort of free to play with its big Year 10 update, which brought
Wait,
about
what does
some
Siege do?
big changes to the game. It also inevitably started to get stingy with the in-game currency.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, going free to play is just developer speak for just, going off the rails on the monetization stuff. Usually, it doesn't take 10 years to do it. Obviously, the sales of Siege must have dropped off years ago, but either way, they switched over to a mostly free model, and then players immediately started to feel the squeeze. The rate the game was giving out in-game currency dropped off a cliff, while at the same time, they introduced new
Ooh.
masterpiece level cosmetic bundles that cost $50 a pop. It used to be that you'd get a decent amount of renown every
Uh-huh.
match, even if you lost, but now barely you get any. To make up for that, they're doing daily rewards instead to encourage players to just log in all the time. It's just meant to get them more connected to the game, which in turn
I mean, sure, but you could still make it where that they could, get people to earn renown still. You could still do that. You don't have to do all this other stuff.
might make them more likely to throw money by buying a weird skin. It's your average free-to-play Dark Patterns bullcrap, but it's unfortunate to see in Rainbow Six Siege or Siege X, a game that managed to go on for so long with a relatively stable monetization system and solid player base. Now it just looks like every other overpriced free-to-play junk out there, and it's unfortunate. because Siege is
No, I mean, here's the thing. You got to remember at the end of the day, Siege is owned by Ubisoft. You got to remember that. Siege is owned by Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is going off the rails with monetization and all that stuff. Even they're losing billions of dollars. But hey, they don't really seem to understand why they're losing money. I mean, I don't know. I question it too. I do.
still like a very unique game. There's nothing really
Idiots.
quite else like it out there. The devs at least bumped up renown and experience gains after players complained. They did listen, but the overall earnings are still worse than before it went free to play, as far as we can tell. Next at number 5, it's
And you know what? I'm gonna guess too that they didn't even bother changing the price of buying the characters. I can guarantee you. I don't. It costs like thousands or something like tens of thousands or something like that to get one character of renown to get one character. Something tells me that now that they lessened the amount of renown you get, but they still kept the same price to unlock one character. I can guarantee you.
seems like these monetization models in games just keep getting more and more expensive, but these games continue to somehow find success. It seems like no matter how much a game charges for skins, there is apparently someone out there willing to pay for it.
Oh
Not so
yeah.
much with Apex Legends, though, which lost about 40% of its revenue in 2024. It's not an unpopular game.
Ooh.
In fact, it's still got a very big player base. It's one of the top 10 most played games on Xbox, but the problem
Wow.
is that people playing the game just aren't buying anything. Why? Well, there are a few reasons for it. Partially, it might be because the game is mostly played by the hardcore fan base who just don't care about microtransactions. It could very well be that the microtransactions themselves are just too damn expensive. I mean, just last year, Apex had
Uh,
that final
Honestly, yes and no. And the reason why I say yes and no is because if you mean by the hardcore, and I mean like the real, like the actual dedicated fans of Apex, well, yes, it's true that it's because things have gone more expensive for the or things just gone more expensive. Of what is a fair take, but I think the other thing as well is that you got to remember these are the hardcore players. So these are the people who already have the skins that they want. They already have the heirlooms and things like that. My brother literally has all of the heirlooms in the game. The I believe the only ones I think he doesn't have are like the alternate colors, and that's it. And so practically he's in a way beaten the game, which is crazy to think about it. So and that's it. So at that point, there's really nothing else. There's nothing else for him to do anymore for Apex because he really got the skins that he wants for the characters and all that stuff. He's got a bunch of the weapon skins and all that. So it literally defeats the purpose because he's invested thousands of hours into the game. Now that there's really zero reason to invest money into it. So here's the thing: if you're talking about like that type of hardcore, like what is it, player base, then yeah, it's understandable because they all have skins that they want. They all got the heirlooms that what is it for the characters that for their mains or whatever, or maybe they just have all of them in general. Um, so there's really no reason to spend more money, even with like the new collabs and things like that. There's like zero reason.
fantasy crossover event which had, I kid you not, $290 worth of microtransactions. The prices on these things are absurd, and Apex keeps running these types of things, but it
Yeah,
seems like
it's
nobody's
always
really
been that
buying
way.
them up. Look, I
Yeah.
know some people buy it, but I think I don't think in my right mind like a lot of people are really going for this stuff. Maybe it's the demographic of the player base, maybe the skins are just ugly, but either way, Apex seems like it's struggling to make revenue because of its terrible microtransactions. This has been a problem with the game for years. They keep pulling these stupid stunts, and every time more and more people just kind of give up on the game entirely, or they just keep playing with their head down and not buying anything, which, you know what, good on them.
The one thing that Apex needs to do is stop doing collabs. They need to if they see that people aren't investing too much money, then you just invest things in house and start and make skins and things like that that would garner people's interest and such. And that's it. Don't even bother going to other sources or anything like that because they got to spend even more money to get that license to make the characters and all the other stuff. No, 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 no. You just do it all in house. Make another legend, put like unique skins on them or something interesting or whatever, and maybe that'll garner people's interest into investing in to spending money and such. Um, it is a dumb idea to go out to go to start going to like various of different anime shows or whatever, or collabs in general, to entice people into investing into buying these skins, and how even with each of these skins are literally $20 a pop. Yeah, no thanks, no thank you. Yeah.
Next at number 4, originally there was this, Rocksmith, a 2014 guitar rhythm game that was more like a hardcore alternative to Rock Band. It was a little
Yeah.
late to the party, but it was a game that a lot of people were a fan of. Unlike playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band
Oh my
endlessly,
god,
you could actually
that
learn
format.
some guitar from Rocksmith, and that was really cool. The cash model was simple. You bought the game, there were DLC songs, just standard stuff. It wasn't cheap exactly, but it worked for what the game was offering. So fast forward to 2024, and we've got Rocksmith Plus, a new free-to-play version of the
Ubisoft,
original
there it
game.
is.
The concept isn't necessarily disastrous. I mean, these games live and breathe on DLC anyway, so I guess making a free version with a ton of DLC would make some degree of sense. Oh wait, there's no DLC. Instead,
All
they're
right.
going with a subscription model. $20
Oh
a month. That's crazy. Like, that
no.
just seems like a really high price. And they didn't even stop there. This version of the game removed multiple features from the original, including arcade mode and all the mini games, and replaced them with nothing. The free version is not good, including maybe like 10 songs.
Again, another Ubisoft game where where what is it? Where they were 10 toes down on what is it, on doing dumb shit like this. Should we be surprised?
Total, and the subscription isn't even that great, with a lot of like bad cover versions of songs instead of the real thing. It's an uncomplicated model, I'll give you that. They keep it simple, but that monthly price, that's a lot for a subscription.
$20.
Like, that's more than Netflix. How many people are going to pay that much for a slightly
Bro, that's more than I think that's like more than YouTube, I think right now. I think. But yeah, man. That's crazy talk. Bro, just literally played the older version of the game. Hell, play it on your PC. What is I'm pretty sure you can play the game on a PC right now. Just play it on the PC and download the songs and shit. Just do that. Literally, or I mean, I understand that's for Rocksmith, but dude, you could literally I forgot what's that one game that's supposed to be a standalone version of a Guitar Hero, or a fan made Guitar Hero game that mimics exactly Guitar Hero. But yeah, just play that, and put download songs and such, and yeah, and you can have fun with it. But this is ridiculous. $20 for a subscription to get access to these damn songs. No, hell, I would even say go to the older game and what is it, and play that shit instead. Um, fucking
updated version of a game that's already 10 years old with a lot of the fun stuff stripped out. If SteamDB is anything to go by, then not that many. Now at number 3, I remember a time way back when all of World of Warcraft had was a subscription and expansions. Now
Yep.
it's got everything you'd expect a modern game to have, and a lot more, up to and including $90 mounts. In 2006, players were ready to go and burn down the Bethesda offices for daring to include cosmetic armor for $2.50. Remember horse armor? And now we've got people climbing over each other just to get a chance to spend nearly $100 on a mount in an MMO where you're already paying a subscription fee. To the whale's credit, this mount does include both access to the auction house and a mailbox. Two things that are provided for free at every major hub city. So what I'm saying is it's still a massive waste of money, but it still does at least provide something, and it is big. No, that doesn't justify the price at all, man. World of Warcraft in general has been experimenting with these overpriced ticket items, and it's just never really good. And it doesn't make the game any better, and it just encourages players with less self-control than sense to be even more obsessed with the game. In terms of like,
is there a lot of people still playing World of Warcraft still? I've always questioned that.
other games on the list, World of Warcraft is not like a complete microtransaction hellscape. It's not like they're badgering you to spend money after every raid like in Destiny or something like that, but it is still
Thank goodness, man. Thank goodness, because here's the thing. Even though you're paying like $15 a month or something, or was it $15 or $10 a month? I can't remember, but it might have been $10 a long time ago. Because when I see that price, I'm like, I don't remember it being that. But yeah, man, it's crazy to think that I'm glad that a game like this doesn't badger you with microtransactions. But man, there are games that I spend more than $60 on, or $60 to $70, and they're like would you like to buy this? Would you like to buy that? And I'm like, oh my god, thank goodness, man. But granted, World of Warcraft isn't really off the table in terms of the things that they want you to spend on and such for microtransactions. Even this game had a load of microtransactions, but for what I can remember, they kind of pulled back a little bit on the microtransactions. But I think they mainly sunset them so they can keep them as like I guess you could say like a rare sort of thing or rarity. But overall, they can always bring those things back.
Still noticeably a worse place than when it started. It's not like you're spending any less. The game still runs on subscriptions and expansions, but now there's all this worthless crap to buy on top of all that. Now at number 2, Disney Speedstorm. What started out as a fairly generous free-to-play racing game saw a slow and inevitable slide into being a full-on microtransaction wasteland, man. First, it launched as a PC title that mostly behaved like you'd expect, a Mario Kart-like game. But it switched to mobile, and then the menus got simplified. The tokens, which originally could only be earned in-game or obtained from the Founders Bundle, were made purchasable. Coins you earned naturally in the game were made harder to get. Rewards across the board were reduced. The season
Don't I own Speedstorm?
passes were split up with premium tracks costing real money now. Fewer things could be obtained using in-game currency. More things cost cold hard cash. And even earning in-game currency was getting more and more difficult. Players complained that the tokens they were earning in-game were essentially useless, and the developers responded by making tokens even more worthless. Eventually, they started splitting the seasons into not just 2 passes, but 3. So if you wanted everything, you now had to buy 3 golden passes. When the game originally launched, there was 1 pass, and you could buy it with in-game currency.
Oh my
now there were
god,
3.
are you serious? Oh no. Jesus Christ. It kind of reminds me of like what Fortnite is doing. But the thing about it is that you have like the main battle pass, right? And then you have like the side stuff. So if you like the music festival, there's like all that stuff with it. Or if you like the Lego stuff, then there's that with it. Sure, all those completely optional, right, to invest into. But this is just no, this is just gross.
The amount of content you got was only slightly more than with just 1, and you had to spend real world cash to get them. That's not the worst of it. Like, just this year, they added an even more expensive mechanic to the Golden Pass with just...
Please tell me that you're able to earn at least the premium currency back through through the battle pass, because that's one thing that I'm so gracious that Fortnite does that, where you're able to where you're able to earn back at least the amount that you spent on the battle pass, and you could earn that back. I find that shit very nice, but something tells me that you don't do that in this game.
Just flat out blatant pay to win stuff that give you an enhanced version of racers with better nitro boosts. At this point, it's less of a game and more of just like a pay to win thing. It's a shame because the idea was really cool, but Disney seems like they're kind of content with running it into the ground. Now at number 1, Star Citizen.
Hey man, that's the reason why that's the reason why I emulated Mario Kart 8, to be honest. And I'll be honest with you, banger game. I couldn't understand why people were playing that for years. I get it.
Okay, go easy on us, Star Citizen fans, but it feels kind of absurd to say that this game is a microtransaction hellscape now.
Hey man, what is it for any fan out there for Star Citizen? Yeah man, go screw yourself, because this game's been in development for like what, 15 plus years. And it still ain't coming out. It still hasn't even have a full release yet. And also, what is it? You have to pay tens of thousands of dollars for these bullshit ass pixels. Yeah, no thanks, buddy.
When we're talking about the game that in the past sold ship bundles for like tens of thousands of dollars.
There you go.
For ships that didn't even exist yet. You were spending the down payment on a house on what was the equivalent of like a digital IOU. How can it possibly get worse than that? Cloud Imperium Games have used...
And yet these are the same people that were stroking the shaft for this game. And for those people, I'm like, man, you are truly lost to society.
Just about every possible way to get
in stock. It has in stock. What do you mean in stock? Bro, these are all digital. What do you mean there's a limit of these?
Some money out of the dedicated player base, but this year it seems like even some fans of Star Citizen reached their breaking point. People may have accepted ships and ship insurance, but when Star Citizen came up with the bright idea for ship upgrades, that seems like that was a bridge too far. no longer intend to charge players for ships that
Oh
weren't in a game yet
yeah.
or in a finished game yet. They were going to start selling ship upgrades for, frankly, absurd prices. 6 bomb racks for $45, cargo modules for $30, ship speed
Hey man, you guys asked for this shit, okay? What is it? Y'all guys spend fucking thousands of dollars on what is it on these bullshits. Here's the thing. What is it? People, sometimes people laugh at us for buying like $15, $20 skins and things like that. I'm like, yeah, true, right? It is laughable. Sometimes where some of these skins could really improve on our characters' look, some of them could get, what is it, bigger tits, a much more firmer ass or whatever, or some of them just straight up just looks better. But you know who we can all laugh at and mockery and just pure shame are what is are these players are what is it these are what is it these guys these what game is this again? I forgot what it was. But these guys, we what is it? We can make fun of everyone in the gaming community, even the ones that play Hello Kitty Island Adventures can make fun of these fucking these group of people because they deserve to be laughed at. They asked for this, they wanted it, they got it.
upgrades for 42 US dollars. The idea was that these things could be bought with in-game money, but when they first launched, the only way to get them was using cold hard cash. Compared to overpriced ships, this might sound like a drop in the bucket, but the problem is that this new ship upgrade system completely undermines what a lot of fans liked from the individual ships. They each had their own strengths and weaknesses, at least in theory. Like, people knew what they were up against when they looked at another enemy ship. That's what made all these ships unique and what made people want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on them. Now it seems like it's going to end up being a free-for-all where people willing to put up with the high prices will have an invisible advantage over other players. And if they're going to monetize something as basic as this, what's to stop them from monetizing literally everything else in a game? A game that, I might add, is in its 13th year of development and is still technically in alpha. There's more of a game than ever, but it's still in the works. And
Yep.
also, they've already asked so much from the player base financially. If they're going to
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I really believe they're actually pocketing a lot of this money because ain't no way that this game raised millions of dollars and yet they're still fucking working on it and all that stuff. It ain't. I'm a highly believe these people bought mansions. This is literally this is literally the people who are part of BLM, and then you find out who they were, and then you find out later. Oh yeah, what is it? They're buying mansions at what is it at what is it, at the top of Beverly Hills. I don't doubt these guys are the same.
charge for like stuff like this piecemeal stuff? Like, what are prices on things like furniture or actual cosmetics gonna cost? Yeah, in comparison to the insane prices on some of the ships, these upgrades might not seem like much, but ships are seen as investments. These are 100% unvarnished, just microtransactions that should not cost real world cash to obtain. Look, the Star Citizen community isn't a league of their own. They're incredibly unique. They're definitely willing to overlook a lot, but for many, the monetization of ship upgrades
Man, man, for the what is it for the fans who are interested in what is it for the people who heavily invested to Starfield and overlook all this bullshit. Yeah, man, you got something. You got what is it? I would suggest talking to your doctor if you have one. If you don't, what is it? Sign up to whatever USAID or whatever free what is it, Medicare or whatever you can sign up to, and ask the doctor, make an appointment, ask the doctor, hey, could I be a potential could I be potentially diagnosed with Stockholm syndrome because I play and invest money into this one game, and they're probably gonna tell you yes, and you need help.
upgrades is one of the final straws. As of the time of writing this video, I don't know how this is all going to shake out, but we're just going to have to wait and see. The grand ambitions of Star Citizen are definitely still tantalizing, but it's just kind of getting messier in between. Anyway, those are 10 games that have kind of devolved into a boring microtransaction hellscape. Obviously, this is a spicy video, a negative video, so thanks for bearing with us.
It's a great video, man. It's good. A lot of this stuff is well deserved because this is all crazy, man. It's all crazy. But hey, man, these people destroyed their game alone and things like that. Ubisoft. I mean, whoever thought we would see Ubisoft, multiple times in this list? It's like, yep, it would be them. We thought EA was bad with their dumb shittery. No, it turns out Ubisoft was worse. But anyway, you guys have a good one, all right? And so what is it? See you guys later. What is it? Leave a like, subscribe, check out Game Ranks. Leave a like on the video, leave a like on this video and the Game Ranks video. And hope you guys have a good one. And don't forget to check out the stream. I'm usually live every day except for Fridays. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Peace.